Good evening and many thanks for joining us live on QTV. You are watching QTV News and I am Ajibento Drame. In tonight's top stories. The security services on Thursday revealed they will ensure a level playing field for all presidential aspirants and party supporters throughout the election process. The Collecting Society of the Gambia, CSG, on Friday held a press conference on the payment of royalties to Gambian artists who have registered their works with the CSG. Also, we will take a look at the advantages and disadvantages of easy access to the internet and its impact on minors, particularly school children. In international news, a Kenyan police officer has woken up from a 9-month coma to find he had been sacked from the police force. In sports news, Burkina Faso's under-20 women's national team on Friday defeated the Gambia at the Independence Stadium in the first leg of the World Cup qualifiers. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, the security services on Thursday revealed they will ensure a level playing field for all presidential aspirants and party supporters throughout the election process. This was announced at an event organized by the Interior Ministry and facilitated by Tango. The story by Loli M. Kamara is narrated by Ansumani Iswanyasi.
Ahead of the electoral cycle, civil society organizations and political party representatives and presidential aspirants converge for a day-long session on the role of security personnel during and after elections. At the event, the Security Service presented their planned mode of operation and a contingency plan to be used as a guide during and after the election. Yankuba Sonko, the Minister of Interior, said based on previous experience, it is significant to bring together all political parties to discuss election security.
There is an increasing and extreme need for the dialogue. The dialogue will undoubtedly enhance maintenance of peace and prevention of conflict, which is high and central to my ministry's priority. That would undermine free, fair, and transparent election is indeed a step forward to peace and security, the activities of which would address the root and potential causes of violence against societal expectation for peaceful coexistence. Therefore, a need for conflict resolution mechanism to stabilize social, political, and economic fabric of our dear nation, which are all centered to our effective utilization of available resources like stakeholder institutions and individuals.
Lamin K. Bojang, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, expressed his institution's commitment to the full implementation of their work plan during and after the election, adding that there will be a joint security force to ensure efficiency.
Now we are coming into the other aspect of it, which is the nomination, and we entered into the campaign and all other stuffs. So how we intend to do it is to have a fair and a level playing ground for all political parties. The protection that we will give to one is the protection that we will give to all.
On the importance of having this dialogue ahead of the December 4th election, Mamoudou Esar from United Democratic Party and Alhamdou Conte of Gambia Democratic Congress both expressed delight for the initiative.
Well, definitely the importance of this gathering is definitely well overdue, because this is, a gathering that will bring that coexistence and understanding between the security and political parties.
This event is very important, very, very important, because our aim and objective of the political arena is to have a level playing field for everybody. We cannot have that without having common understanding from each other. That's why we are together as IPC. We talk and discuss, exchange ideas, come to terms.
Amunyasi, co-chair of the Inter-Party Committee, commended the organizers of the event, stating that in the maintenance of peace, it is important to bring key political players to dialogue. Many speakers made the point that elections will come to pass, but the country stays. It is hoped that these messages by stakeholders will serve as a guide in ensuring a peaceful pre- and post-election. Answana Sonyasi for KTV News.
In an age of easy sharing of digital content, people have gotten used to sharing artistic content without paying. As part of efforts to address this, the Collecting Society of the Gambia, CSG, on Friday held a press conference on the payment of royalties to Gambian artists who have registered their works with the CSG. Yahya Jawa reports.
Established under the Gambia Copyright Act 2004, the Collecting Society of the Gambia was inaugurated in 2013 and is responsible for registering works, sensitizing Gambians on copyright issues, ensuring adherence to international copyright treaties and conventions, as well as collecting and distributing royalties for Gambian artists. Among those in attendance at the press conference were representatives of the Film Producers Association, the Writers Association of the Gambia Music Union, Gambia Union of Theatre, and the Gambia Association of Music Producers and Promoters. Dr. Cherno Omar Bari, President of the Collecting Society of the Gambia, explains the role of the Collecting Society regarding copyright.
When you talk about copyright, for those who don't know, it means protecting any product or work that has been produced by anybody. As long as you produce an original work of your own and it becomes a product, it can even be an idea. But if it is a substantive idea, one that can be palpable, you are required to protect it from somebody using it or from somebody exploiting it or somebody reproducing it.
Dr. Barry called on artists to register their work or productions at the Copyright Bureau under the National Center for Arts and Culture and the Collecting Society of the Gambia to protect their work and so have the right to sue anyone who uses their content without their permission. He outlined what could happen to those who fail to protect their work.
If you do not protect it and somebody else uses it anywhere, you can only complain, you can go to the police, you can go anywhere. Nobody can prove that you were the first person to create it. So this is where most of our artists are losing.
He also explains how the CSG collects and distributes royalties on behalf of registered members.
We act as an intermediary for the conclusion of contracts between its members and users of their works. Let's say, for example, the TV, GRTS, or one of your TVs, like Kerfatu, loves the music by ST, for example. One of his jingles, they just love it, and they love to use that regularly as a jingle before they do their news. You understand? So what happens now is that they will have to enter into a contract with ST. But to be able to protect ST will have to use the collecting society. The collection will be the intermediary to ensure that contract is signed. Why? Because we will collect for ST. ST cannot go and collect the money for them, for himself.
Isa Jallo, the Collecting Society's acting secretary, says reviving the organization to be fully functional is important for the Artistic Association of the Gambia and will serve as an economic boost for the country.
This is a very important element in the economic development of this country. The artistic associations have been yearning for this for a long time. Let me tell you, the artists know about this. They don't just know how to go about it in terms of getting this. But now, things are actually shaping up. It is very disheartening for somebody to create something and for that person to sit there and see somebody else benefiting from it, you know, and then there's nothing you can do about it.
Since its establishment nearly 2 decades ago, the Collecting Society of the Gambia had not been fully functional due to financial and other resource challenges. Now that a new board has been instituted, the CSG has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that individuals, organizations and institutions pay royalties to its members for the legal use of their assets, intellectual property or products. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
Now, digital media has transformed the world into a global village, making communication easier and bringing us closer. The Gambia has more smartphones than people. However, easy access to digital media comes with advantages and disadvantages. We take a look at the impact of digital media on minors, particularly school children. More in this report. Digital media can facilitate social interaction and empower people. The voiceless are given a voice, increasing civic participation in the social discourse. And we have all become hooked on them, especially the smartphone. The Gambia has a higher rate of smartphones per person than the European Union. In the Gambia, data shows 1.4 smartphones per person compared to the EU's 1.2 per person. In 2020, there were 3.24 million smartphones in the Gambia. However, many parents around the world have been concerned about the impact of digital media on the lives of their children. Malanding Balo, the principal of Ndaus Comprehensive Junior School, explains the impact of digital media on children, most especially students.
Most of the times, what the parents will tell us is that they want the children to come with the telephones and mobile phones in particular, so that when they are at work, they will be able to contact the children anytime they wish. But notwithstanding, we also ensure that in as much as we allow them to bring them to school to be able to get in touch with their parents, they are not supposed to be misused or abused in the classroom. And some of them even go to the extent of watching pornographic films in the class, and that is the highest degree of abusing the gadgets. We don't take that lightly. That attracts a suspension.
Fabian Aina Grant Sanyang is a principal researcher at the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education and a senior nursing officer at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. She says that digital media have reduced the amount of quality time parents spend with their children.
They are minors, they have to just concentrate in their education. I know that using these gadgets, as I mentioned, it is good. It's a multitask. It's engaged young ones to learn beyond what their parents don't teach them. But at the same time, for the health consequences as well, it can have an impact in the life of the child.
Ami Senghor, a mother whose 7-year-old daughter is an active TikTok blogger, explains how she monitors her daughter. Since she was little, she has loved acting, dancing and modeling. At first, I was not in support of it, but my sisters will shoot videos of her and even to put her on their status, which I disagreed with it because she is little. Later, I was convinced by my sisters to let her continue with it, because it might be her future career or dream. I review the videos before they post them. I don't want her to be doing videos that I don't like. I am very keen on what she wears before shooting videos, because we have a culture here. I don't want her to influence other kids into doing acts which people won't like. What she is doing is not distracting her from schooling. She is really trying in her education, and I will support her in achieving her dreams. Umi Eska, Ami's daughter and active TikTok user with lots of followers and comments from well-wishers, says she aspires to be a famous actress. I choose to do TikTok because I want people to like me. I also want to make people laugh, and it will help me in my future career. Even though this is the career path Umi wants to follow in future, some have stated that she could concentrate on her schooling instead. In as much as it has become a regular feature in our lives, parents must work out how best to guide their children's use of this ubiquitous double-edged sword. Ajipintu Drame, QTV News. From that story, we will go for a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more stories to stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information. Cherry.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Moving on, an environmentally friendly group, Team Go Green, over the weekend planted over 500 seedlings in the Abogos village in Sandu district to combat the effects of climate change. Alhaji A.F. Jallo files in this report.
Tree planting may be the secret to reversing global warming. According to a study by the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, the frequency and magnitude of rainstorm in this country in recent years, which many experts have attributed to the effects of climate change, are striking reminders of the country's vulnerability to these climate change effects. From 2001 to 2020, according to one study, Gambia lost 669 hectares of tree cover, equivalent to a 15% decrease in tree cover since 2000. This sobering awareness has led to an increasing number of climate change activists and community groups organizing tree planting initiatives. This community-led initiative is called Operation Dip Your Hands in Your Pocket. This is the third consecutive year that Team Go Green is planting trees. Its members says they have achieved 95% success rate of trees surviving. Out of hundreds of trees grown, only 8 were replaced. Bahore Drame, the coordinator for Team Go Green, said the secret behind their success is that the communities have taken ownership of the project.
You see, one important thing that Team Go Green come with when we form this association is that we make sure the communities, they have to take the responsibility and own it. The Team Go Green is owned by the community. Like the Village Development Committee, we talk to them because you cannot sustain anything if you don't own it. So you have to take the ownership first, then you can try to sustain it. If you own something, you will try to make sure you sustain it.
Abdullah Juara, the chairperson of Team Go Green, is optimistic that if his team is given the required support, they will be able to turn the country green.
Looking at what we have done so far without no support from anyone, with support from the organization or outside donors, it will be massive. We will turn this country into green. Because looking at what we have done so far, you have been participating in our tree planting for the past years, and we have seen the difference that we are making gradually. Without no outside support, without no donor, what about if we are able to have donation, support from institutions and outside bodies? We will do wonders. We will turn this nation to green.
Alassane Mane, a forestry officer, said his ministry has now changed the slogan from tree planting to tree growing in order to achieve a sustainable rate in tree survival.
Previously, we used to just plant trees without protection, Now we have changed the system, Now it's tree growing instead of tree planting. Because trees are like human beings. They are living things. They need support at their tender age. So that's why we changed the slogan now. We change it to tree growing instead of tree planting. As I say, trees are like living things, They need support at their tender age. We need to provide water during dry season. Because here is very hot, The temperature is very hot during the dry season. So these trees, they need support at this tender age, At least we provide water protection like the way these people are doing.
Trees not only benefit the environment, but also the people living around them by having a positive impact on mental health and well-being, reducing stress and encouraging outdoor exercise. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alaji A.F. Jallo.
In international news. Imagine being a victim of a dangerous road traffic accident and then being in a coma for 9 months, only to wake up and realize you have been sacked from your work. Well, that is what happened to Ruben Kimute, a Kenyan police constable. Ansumani Esonyase tells us more.
Following months of searching after he failed to report to work, the Kenyan police concluded he was sacked for desertion. His family had also concluded that he may be dead. But Constable Ruben Kimutailel was in fact a victim of a dangerous road traffic accident and had been in coma at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where he was admitted on December 21, 2020. And until he regained consciousness last week and efforts were made to trace his family, no one knew where he was. At the time of the accident, he had no documents or any form of identity, and thus he was admitted as an unknown person at the main referral hospital in Nairobi. In an interview with the BBC, his niece Joanne Jepto told the BBC of the family's horror as they searched for his body in morgues after they had given up on chances of him being alive. We thought he was dead because his phone was off. Early this year, we went to collect a body that we were told resembled him, but the fingerprints didn't match, she said. Meanwhile, Kimutailel was in hospital fighting for his life. He was sacked from his job, charged with desertion in absentia, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. The case was eventually withdrawn after police failed to locate him. Although Constable Lel is yet to regain his full memory, he was able to identify himself by name and that he was a police officer. His niece says she found him at the Kenyatta Hospital after she was contacted by police last Wednesday. She says he could not recognize her or names of family members. He was discharged from hospital last Friday and is recovering at his home under the care of his wife and family. Although arrangements are being made to reinstate him to the police force, his niece says the constable in his late 50s was looking forward to retirement. Asmane Sonyase for KTV News.
Let's take a quick look at some interesting sports news. Burkina Faso's under-20 women's national team on Friday defeated the Gambia by a lone goal at the Independence Stadium in the first leg of the World Cup qualifiers for Costa Rica and Panama 2022. Babukar C what the game for us and files in this report.
A lone goal by Adel Naomi Cabre in the 77th minute was enough for coach Pascal Sawadogo and his charges as they sucked the baby scorpions of the Gambia, who were wasteful throughout the game. In a game prior to which both sides said they knew nothing about each other, it was a cautious, tactical approach from the beginning of the encounter. The Gambian girls had the lion's share of possession in both halves, creating some chances and even hitting the woodwork and missing a one-on-one, while the Burkinabes wasted a few chances and indulged in time wasting. It wasn't until the 77th minute when superb striker Adel Naomi Cabre capitalized on a defensive error to send her side through with a sublime finish, which led to her being injured in the process. The lone goal was enough for them, while Gambia, despite bringing in fresh legs to beef up the attack, were unable to equalize. After 90 plus 5 minutes additional time, the Mauritanian referee brought the game to an end, sparking wild celebration by the Burkinabes. Pascal Sawadogo, the head coach of Burkina Faso, said their objective is to qualify for a World Cup for the first time and book a place in Costa Rica.
But I think that we have 3 weeks to prepare this match. But if I remark the play, I think that the level is high. It is a match which is open. The both teams can win, but the difference is efficacy. We have 2 occasions. We put 1. I think that it is good to qualify our team for the first time on the Mondial Under-20 Cup.
Gambia's coach Fodeba is optimistic about successfully reversing the tie in the return leg in 2 weeks' time.
We've prepared very well for this game, but it was rather unfortunate that we didn't get the result that we wanted.
What did you learn from this game that you will work on going to the second leg?
Like I said in my previous interviews here, we've played a team that I didn't know nothing about, right? Today I've seen the team played. I mean, we've learned a lot, you know. I mean, getting back to the return leg, we will work on our defensive aspect and also on our chances. I think today we lost the game because we lost all our chances. We're focusing on Burkina right now. I mean, we've lost at home. I mean, we try to beat them when we go away. I mean, when we come up with Nigeria, we'll see what's going to happen.
The return leg is set for the 9th of November at a neutral ground in Benin, as Burkina is banned from hosting international games because of the poor state of their national stadium. Babukar C, QTV News.
And before we end, here's a recap of our main headlines. Thursday revealed they will ensure a level playing field for all presidential aspirants and party supporters throughout the election process. The Collecting Society of the Gambia, CSG, on Friday held a press conference on the payment of royalties to Gambian artists who have registered their works with the CSG. Also, we took a look at the advantages and disadvantages of easy access to the internet and its impacts on minors, particularly school children. In international news, a Kenyan police officer has woken up from a 9-month coma to find he had been sacked from the police force. In sports news, Burkina Faso's under-20 women's national team on Friday defeated the Gambia at Independence Stadium in the first leg of the World Cup qualifiers. Well, that's it from me in tonight's edition of the news. Thank you for watching and have a nice evening.